We as women literally only have about 36 hours out of the month in which we can get pregnant. Literally, that's it. Not even 2 whole days. Do you know what that says to me? That these women are laid up under men, having unprotected relations every single day out of the month. That they never use contraceptives, they never use barrier methods, and they never take any precautions to prevent pregnancy. You literally only have less than 2 days out of the month in which you can become pregnant. It's literally not hard to prevent a pregnancy. These women are just nasty and irresponsible. They don't want the responsibility of their own lives and of their own fertility. They want to live life on their back, and whatever happens, happens. They all want to pretend to be outliers whose situation was so crazy. Oh, the condom popped. My birth control pills failed. My IUD failed. Stop it. Stop pretending like you are actually trying to prevent a pregnancy.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. That was the famous cat from TikTok, who was one of my favorite TikTok creators because she just keeps it real. And I wanted to talk about this. It's going to get a little personal here, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but I have brought this up lightly in the past, okay? Y'all know how I feel about women letting men shoot up their clubs. Y'all know what I'm saying. Oh my God. I do not understand how women just sit by and just let men just finish in them. Um, it's your personal preference. It's your business. If that's what you do, if that's what you like, that is your business. I'm just saying, I have never ever been able to understand how women allow for men to do that outside of trying to have a baby. And even then, it still gives me the ick thinking about it. Because I've never wanted kids anyway, so like I'm naturally just gonna be like, absolutely not. Now, I'm not saying that it's never happened to me. Of course it has, but it's not something that I let happen. It's not something that I would just continue to do, and for literal decades. I'm just not even joking. I've been so disgusted by the thought. How y'all let men do this, I don't know. Now, and that's just my own personal observation. It's just like my biggest thing has always been I don't want my pH thrown off. And I'm not saying that it will always throw off your pH. It's really going to depend on your body, and it's going to depend on the habits and the hygiene and the health of the man that will determine if it will throw your pH off. It doesn't always do that, but if your body is, your body chemistry is okay with his, it's probably fine, But I'm like, my pH ain't gonna be thrown off, number one. But the main reason is I don't know what's swimming in that man's sperm. I'm sorry, I don't know if he has something, if he doesn't. I don't know if he's been cheating. I don't know if he's been loyal. I don't know. I don't like to take the chance, period. I don't know how women can just lay up and just let men just. I don't know how y'all do it. But anyway, now, I know a lot of y'all are going to hear this and say, well, that's why it's important for you to tell that man to get tested. And I'm going to tell you, a man getting tested means absolutely nothing. I'm so sorry to say that. Like, initially, when you first start dating, I think, yes, you should get tested. And I think you should also get tested throughout your relationship. But I want y'all to really think about this whole testing myth. Okay, I said it in a previous video, and I said it in many videos. Those test results are only good for one day because men cheat. Husbands are the most single men on the planet. Boyfriends, baby daddies usually got multiple women pregnant at the same time in most cases. So that's usually clearly because he's having unprotected relations with different women at the same time. Okay. So you can go tell a man to get tested all you want. If it's going to make you feel good for that first 24 hours, fine. But that does not mean that tomorrow he's not going to go stick his pee-pee in some other woman and a man and an animal, what a corpse, because those men who are being found out for sleeping with corpses, a lot of them had wives. I'm just putting that out there. Okay? So when you tell a man to get tested, that's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. That's just for the initial baseline, right? In my personal opinion, you are still supposed to be making him use condoms, making him pull out something. There is no reason why a man should be shooting up your club under any circumstance. Just my own personal opinion, for health reasons, because you can't trust these men. I also hear a lot of people say, well, I'm in a relationship or I've been married and me and my husband, we go get tested every 6 months or every year or whatever, which is fine. But I want you to not miss the most important key factor in getting tested. Okay? Getting tested does not make you immune from catching something. Getting tested just lets you know if you caught something or not. I want y'all to let that sink in, because a lot of people think getting tested just means, oh, if I'm getting tested, as long as I'm getting tested, I'm safe. No, you're not. If you're dealing with a dirty dick Rodney or community peen husband, eventually them tests gonna come back positive for something. Okay, I want you to understand, getting tested does not make you immune. It just means you're finding out if you caught something or not. Okay, now I want y'all to look at it from that lens. I remember having this conversation some years back with my then roommate's boyfriend. We were all sitting around talking, and he was jokingly talking about he wished he could be a porn star. And I was like, why would you want to be a porn star? And he was like, cause I could get all the sex I want and blah, blah, blah. The typical man response. And I was like, aren't you afraid of catching the disease? Like, that's the number one reason why I would just be like, hell no, who wants to screw that many people? Who wants to exchange that many people's body fluids? That's so gross. He's like, well, I mean, porn stars get tested every week. Porn stars are some of the cleanest people on the planet because they get tested every week. And I looked at him and I'm like, what does that mean? Because they get tested every week. That doesn't mean shit. And I said, one of these days, their tests are going to come back positive. I said, you do remember when the porn industry was shut down for, I don't know, a couple days or a week, or I forgot how long it was shut down, but it was shut down because a few of them went in there to get their routine test and came back positive for HIV. And so they had to shut it all down to make sure other people didn't have HIV, which I'm sure they found many of them did. But, most people are not going to come out and tell you their positive HIV status. So you're probably sitting next to somebody that's positive for HIV and you'll never know it, because it's no longer the death sentence that it was, 20, 30 years ago. So people are looking healthy and living quote unquote healthy as long as they're taking their meds and whatever they're doing. You will never know what somebody has. So I want y'all to understand this. I have seen some of the most beautiful men, beautiful women, look healthy, clear skin, all of that, when I was working in healthcare, testing positive for syphilis, testing positive for HIV, testing positive for HPV, all types of stuff. You can never look at somebody and tell. And the only way you can is if it's in their advanced stages. You're like something is wrong with them. You might not know exactly what. You don't know if it's AIDS, you don't know if it's cancer, you don't know, but something is wrong when they're in their advanced stages. But when people are nowhere near that advanced stage, you have no idea what people have. You just don't. And yeah, so they shut down the porn industry because eventually those tests came back positive for some people. So getting tested is not a foolproof, bulletproof method like, oh, you're somehow immune from catching something. No, it just means you're going to find out if your husband has been cheating on you, or if your girlfriend has been cheating on you, or if your baby daddy been out dipping his pen in somebody else's ink. That's all that means. You're just going to find out or not. And sometimes you still won't know if they're cheating on you. He just probably got lucky and haven't caught nothing yet. So I want y'all to look at it from a much different lens than what y'all been looking at it from in the past. And I'm just putting that out there because I want to empower women. I want you to stop looking at things on the surface and in the same way that everybody else looks at it. Look at it from a different lens in order to really truly protect yourself. And yes, I am of the belief that even if you are married, you should still be protecting yourself, because nobody cheats more than married men. Married men are the most single men on the planet. I have said that in like 100 or some videos. I'm going to keep telling y'all. They cheat more than anybody. And most of the time, they are not protecting themselves, because when you look at those STD rates in women, those women are usually married, or they're usually in long-term so-called monogamous relationships when they find out they got something. Okay? I'm hoping that's clear. I'm hoping I'm making that clear. Stop letting these men shoot your club up. You don't know what's in that man's sperm. You don't know when the last time that man got tested. You don't know if he even cares about his health. You can't just go by what he's saying. Ask that nigga to see that my chart. Paper don't mean nothing. All these, they don't even put that shit on paper no more. Everything is online. So if he's coming to you with some paper, just assume that that paper is forged, fraudulent, absolutely fraudulent. Okay? Let me see that my chart. A lot of men won't even be able to tell you what a my chart is. So that's how you know they're lying. And if he has one and he doesn't want to show you, or if you ask him to go get tested and he doesn't want to go, that's your answer. You're dodging a bullet. You're dodging a bullet. Please see it from that perspective. That man don't want to go get tested. He keeps making excuses when the time comes. He keeps holding it off, or you never heard from him again. Assume the worst. Assume he's walking around with herpes or HIV or something. Just assume the worst and move on with your life. Okay? And even when you find out those tests are not positive and everything is fine, you still got to protect yourself, because you don't know what he's going to do tomorrow or next week when you go out of town with your girls on a girls trip, or while you're at work on third shift, or while you're at work on first shift, or whatever. When you're not with him, you don't know what he's doing. Women always end up finding out that their man is cheating by catching something, by ending up with an unbalanced pH, or by going through a man's phone. And it just is what it is. So I'm glad Kat said that y'all just be sitting up here letting these men shoot your club up, because clearly that's what you would have to be doing in order to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very small window for us to get pregnant. Very small. I think once you have a baby, you do become, a lot more fertile. Maybe that window opens a tad bit wider. I don't know. Maybe. But either way, when you get pregnant, it's because you've been letting men shoot your club up. That point blank period. And a man's semen can live in your vagina for a few days. So, you know what I'm saying? Think about that too. Your body will eventually kill them off. But until then, you still have the probability of getting pregnant if you are having sex around your ovulation. So you need to know when you're ovulating. You need to know that you can't trust these men like that. You need to know that these men don't usually go to the doctor. They just tell y'all what y'all want to hear because they're trying to get some. Okay? But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I want to give you guys a different perspective. Please take care of yourself. Your body is all you got. You only get one. Your health is all you got. Once you lose it, you may be able to get it back. You may not. When it comes to incurable diseases, good luck. But these men are not going to care. They're going to just move on and go to their next victim. And you're going to be somewhere living in shame, or being sad all the time, or sick and having to take 100 pills a day and all that. None of these men are worth that. I promise you. If you're in a relationship, if you're married, still protect yourself. And if the man has a problem with it, kick him to the curb, because this is your life, your body, your health. Fuck what he got to say about it. That's all I got to say about this for now. Hit subscribe if you have not. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. Fuck these men on the internet. They don't know what they want, but they will see what they can get. Oh, go and waste your one and only precious life while pretending not eyes on his hairline and your hand on your drink. For all you know, he is a psychopath. He'll leave you on red, and he won't care if you're dead. And the psychics on TikTok are wrong.